married. I don't know. I never know what to look. I'm used to looking at myself. I know. I need a TV.
Yeah, I do.
Right behind your camera.
I know. All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of Colossal Security Podcast. I am Keith, your host, and this is my co-host, Becky. Becky, what's wrong? You look smaller than last time. She's not talking. And we are live here at the Harford Mill in Waysport, PA. And tonight we are talking about a duck race, National Military Appreciation Month, National Hamburger Month. And our first guest for the first half hour is Jason from Team Spoonman. Second half hour, we have Erica coming on, who is a teacher at Lehighton Middle School, and she ran in this year's Boston Marathon, and she's going to tell us all about her experience with that. Plus, you'll have a chance to be entered in the drawing for the Colossal Backyard Barbecue Giveaway. One winner will win a grill from Country Junction, a $200 gift card from Thompson Meat Market, a $200 gift card from Beltsville Beverage, and the drawing will be held on May 23rd. But tonight during the show, when you hear the sounder of two guys trying to light a grill, you want to email your name and phone number to info@colossalradio.rocks. And if you are the first one to email, you'll qualify and be entered in the drawing on May 23rd. Again, when you hear the sounder of two guys trying to light the grill, email your info and good luck. All right, tonight we are going to talk with Jason from Team Spoonman, since Becky's quiet here.
Just me and you, buddy.
Yes, that's me and you. So, welcome back.
Yeah. I got off the blackball list somehow.
Yeah. Yeah, you're on the...
I'm going for a double tonight.
Yeah.
I hosted once, I've been a guest twice, and now I host and guest on the same day.
That's right. You're going to be the guest co-host for the second half hour, so it's a double header.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. So, what's new?
Nothing. Same old. We have an event, which is why I'm here. For anybody who doesn't know, Team Spoonman, we started during the pandemic. It started. I don't even know what it just started as a joke. I was a member of another group. It was strictly a food and drinking group, a bar type group, and I made a cocktail from my bar every night, and I did that for a long time in that group, and then just kind of ran its course, and I just quit. And my girlfriend said, "You love doing drinking at daylight. Just start your own group. Then you can sort of steer wherever you want to go." And we started out doing the exact same thing, just doing the drink a day every day, and then we started selling T-shirts because somebody would say, "Oh, we should get." They've been asking for T-shirts before that,
Right.
So we started selling T-shirts and didn't know what to do with the money, and then I got the idea to have a service member of the month. So an active duty military service member, we send out a care package. Well, we started the group June 5th, 2021, and then that post was, I think, in August or September. Selena Jones, she's actually home right now, as a matter of fact, but she was the inspiration for the cause, and so she became the first service member of the month ever awarded. She got 3 T-shirts, like a tumbler with some stickers on it, and it was nothing. It was just rudimentary, but just thank you more than anything, and you're appreciated kind of thing. And that's where it started, and then now it's turned into a full-fledged nonprofit group. And for example, since the inception, we've had 52 service members of the month. We say service member of the month, but depending on how long the list gets, how many people. Like right now, the veteran list is 10 people long. Right. So this month, there's already been 3 I sent out because I like it to be like at 3 or 4. So when they start doing these events and 2, 3, 4, 5 people get signed up at an event, we just multiply. So whatever. But so far to date, we had 52 service member of the month packages and 53 veteran of the month packages. And that's all based on selling our merchandise and doing these things. And June 7th will be the 4th annual Spoonapalooza 4, And it's our biggest fundraiser of the year. We have a duck race. So if you're a member of the group, we sell little rubber ducks, 2-inch tall yellow rubber ducks. They're numbered 1 through 1,000. We sell them for $10 a duck, and then the payout is $5. So it's a 50-50 basically. And the first year in 2022, we sold 288 ducks, which was mind blowing.
Right.
I was like, this is insane. This is nuts, you know. But then it gained steam. Now people know about it. So the second year we sold 736 ducks. Which again, was beyond my wildest dreams. And then last year we sold 1,075.
Wow.
You know, so $5,400. And you know, it goes. So for example, last year's totals I had right here. We had 16 service members of the month packages. They're about $100 roughly. 18 veteran of the month packages we sent out. We do Reach Across America. So we go down there and help them take them out, either in a trailer or the trucks or whatever, and spread them around and then hand them out to the people. But we bought 100 wreaths. Valor Foundation, for anybody who doesn't know, it's a local, it's local to us, but they go as far as Philly all the way up to Whitehaven. They help struggling veteran families. We gave them, at Easter we collected 700 cans of corn and green beans. The American Cancer Society wrote them a check for $612 last year. When the hurricane was in North Carolina, we gathered up supplies and at a drop-off point that they had in town. $850 worth of supplies we dropped off for that. When the Blue Mountain was on fire, I donated $250 to the fire company rescue efforts on the other side of the mountain there. And then at Give a Gobbler, Doc's event, we collected 1,000 pounds of food. 17 big boxes. Like when I buy the shirts and sweatshirts, they come in big cardboard boxes, so I save those boxes. And then we collect, people drop clothing, boots, shoes, whatever, gloves, hats off at my house. We collected 17 big bags of clothes, was able to write them a check for $5,000 for them to do with whatever they needed. And also Warrior Adventures, that's a nonprofit group. They help veterans who, it used to be called Warrior Hikers, so it would be, they help them, they want to hike the Appalachian Trail.
Okay.
So I think they said to hike the Appalachian Trail top to bottom costs between $10,000 and $12,000 between supplies and logistics and everything that they need. So the Warrior, it was Warrior Hikers, now it's Warrior Adventures because they do that. There's another hiking trail somewhere in the U.S. There's a bike trail that goes across the U.S. And then the third thing they do is you can kayak down the Mississippi River from the top to the Gulf.
Oh, wow.
You know, so all of these things. So we sent them $500 for that.
Nice.
But all included, everything we collected, donated, not including the food, I didn't value that, but just the packages, the shipping, and the money that we donated came out to $12,065.57 last year.
Nice.
So that's just an idea, so everybody knows that's where every penny. I'm very, very proud that we have 0% operating costs. I take care of all that, whatever it is. Even the stickers, you know, we've had stickers, whatever. We give out stickers at events. I go to hockey, I get the vinyl. I just buy it. I buy them out of my box. Same thing with the trailer. Well, I started with Doc's event last year.
Right.
I had to get a trailer because there's no way I could come home from Potter, unload, reload, get up there. So I bought a trailer. You know, I bought the trailer. I paid to get it logoed and all that. And that's me. That's my contribution to it. But people want to give me credit all the time, and thank you. I appreciate it, but at the same point, I can't. It doesn't happen without every single person along the way that buys a duck or buys a shirt or even invites their friends to the group.
Right.
Or Kelly, I'll say please, because that's the funny part. But she lives right up over the hill here. She's become a superstar at these events that we do. I can't run these events. I mean, I could, but it's impossible. It would be almost impossible to do it by yourself all day.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time I give her a far enough heads up, hey, we got asked to do this, whatever. She's like, I'm in, and she's there from setup to tear down the entire time. And she's a rock star. So, and anybody that's around at any of these events, I pick on her relentlessly the entire time we're there, and it will never change. And so I hope she doesn't get mad. She knows I love her, and I want to give her a shout out and praise right now because she's a rock star. She's there for me all the time. So.
And she organized guests for March Madness too. Right?
Yes, she did. Yep, yeah. See, well, because it said we talked about actually starting to go through the process to become a registered nonprofit, and then you have to have a board. So I said, well, if we have to have officers and all that, I said, you're going to be the secretary. And so she takes her secretary job very seriously. Yeah, it was fantastic because it's hard to get people to come to the house sometimes. And I didn't even know about it. She's like, oh, well, this person's coming this day and this person's coming this day. And I'm like, what? She must reach out to you guys.
Yeah.
And so she reached out to people and had it all organized, and I'm beautiful. So that's my hard. You wouldn't think you have a hard time getting people to come over to your house and drink for free, but
today you do.
It is what it is.
So. Speaking of drinks, rough idea how many you drank so far? Do we dare to ask?
Well, I'm not caught up on my spreadsheets currently, but I'm going to say ballpark original. And when I say original drinks, I mean a drink that we have not made more than one. And there is, I can only go by titles. So I find them, if they're registered in there's a computer spreadsheet, there's no other way you can keep track of it at this point. So the title. But then I have like one drink that there's 13 different versions of them. Because the same name has a different recipe. Right. But 4,200-ish, which I would have not even, if you told somebody that, oh yeah, I made 4,200 different cocktails, they'd be like, there isn't that many. And I'm like, well, there is.
Yeah.
So, and that's, like I said, that's original. We do so many times that somebody comes to the house and they want to try, like the grasshopper. The grasshopper's won March Madness 4 out of 5 years that we did it. And so many people come there and they want to try the grasshopper. We've made the grasshopper so many times that there's a box of mint chocolate chip ice cream in my freezer all the time because I never know when somebody's going to want to show up and have it, so that it was just funny. And like I said, I really, put it this way, we did so many drinks a day that I don't enjoy drinking anymore. Like we go out to eat and I just get a Diet Coke.
I can imagine, yeah.
We went out, my aunt and uncle were up here a couple months ago. We went out to eat, the whole bunch of brothers and stuff. And my brother and I got there first. And he's like, we got there to the bar. He's like, what do you want? I'm like, I'll just have a Diet Coke. He's like, you're not going to have a drink with your brother? And I'm like, no. And he's like, you drink every night. You won't drink with your brother? And I'm like, all right. So I had an apple, Crown, and Sprite. But other than that, I'm like, no, I don't even want to drink it anymore. It's ruined it for me.
So, where do you want to see this group? Is there any plans, or you just see where it goes?
Yeah, it's. I had no vision of it being what it is.
Right.
And the problem is, you sit here and you just think, you want to get bigger. Not necessarily that you want to get bigger, but it's like. If I would get to the end of the year and all things said and done, at the end of this year we raised and donated $9,000, I would feel like we failed because we didn't do as well as we did last year.
Right.
And it's harder and harder, and that's like I said again. I cannot stress how fantastic it is to have Kelly help because you don't realize how hard it is to get somebody to help for free.
Exactly.
Right. And that's why like Spoonapalooza, this event that we're having coming up with the duck race, somebody's like, oh, you need a band. And I'm like, no, I have the bands. And they're like, are you sure? Like, this is a really good band. And I said, listen, I got 5 bands coming to play that all are coming to play for free. I'm like, so if your buddy's band will come and play for free, I'm like, it's not even a fundraiser, right? Because we make money selling the dogs, and we have merchandise for sale there at the party. But essentially, the party, as it started the first year, was an appreciation party. We don't sell tickets. Right? I don't want it. If you're a member of the group, you're welcome to the party. And it's literally simply join the Team Spoonman Facebook group. You join the group, you're welcome to come to the party. Izzy Messinger is in the group. He's got a hot dog roll, so he brings out. We have hot dogs on there all day long. Meemaw always makes something. Right? We did pulled pork last year, I think. We got a turkey. Somebody donated a turkey last year for Give a Goblin, and when I went up there, I forgot it in the freezer. So I went into Giant and bought a turkey to replace that one. But that one's still in my freezer. So I told her, I said, listen, we're going to cook this turkey up, and we're just going to make turkey barbecue and put it in a crock pot. We'll have that. But yeah, so we make couple main things. I get a barrel of Miller Lite, because the first year I bought like 15 cases of beer, and everybody brings their own cooler, right, of whatever they want to drink. So we end up with all this beer, and I'm like, I don't have refrigerator space for all these. And then the next week we're like, all right, it was the week before the 4th of July, and everything was closed because it was COVID. So I said, well, listen, 4th of July we're gonna have a cookout. We got all these because the first year we put, we buy what are the big packs of hot dogs? 2 dozen or 3 dozen?
Yeah,
Or three, not
3
2 dozen. It's 24. We put the whole thing on there. We had 2 more packs in the refrigerator, and no one ever put it back on again. So the thing ended. We had 4 dozen hot dogs left and all these buns. So I said, next Saturday we're gonna have a campfire. No one's allowed to bring food, and don't bring any beer. Please drink the beer that's here at the house.
Right.
Just please. And then my buddy Joey, Bad Bones Barbecue, he's one of our sponsors. He shows up that day he brought every single thing he makes. He brought brisket, pulled pork, wings, potatoes, coleslaw, bacon, every single thing that he makes. He brought a pan of all of it. And I'm like, we didn't even roast a single hot dog the whole night. And I was eating Bad Bones Barbecue the entire next probably 2 weeks for lunch every day, which I do not necessarily have a problem with.
Right, yeah.
That was a good deal. So the hot dogs went in the freezer, whatever. But yeah, I don't, to say I have a vision of where it goes, I don't, because I have no idea.
Right.
I love being able to give to these, other organizations. Like I said, there's so many organizations that do so much great stuff for our veterans. So as long as, to me, anybody that wants to participate in anything we do, and like I said, these events that we do now, they're the best. Because the bad part is we have another veteran of the month. The package has been my app says it was delivered to the house, but I have no way to contact the person because the woman nominated, I think it was her, I don't remember what the relationship was, but she nominated him at an event. Well, I looked on Facebook under both of their names. I can't find either of them on Facebook, so I have no phone number. I have no way to get in contact with either of them. I did put my name and my cell phone number on the bottom, thinking, now one of them, he did call me and he left me a voicemail. He was an older fellow, you could tell. And he just said, thanks, you're one of the people that cares for our veterans, does stuff, which was a great message to receive, But like I said, we're not doing it for me, or, I like when we have a picture and we can put a face, and I like when, every once in a while like we've had some of them that are local, because we've had people all over the country be nominated and awarded, and then some of them that are local, they'll come. They come home for Christmas or whatever, and they want to stop by the house and say thank you, which is awesome. So I got my picture taken with a bunch of them behind the bar, which is pretty neat. But some of them I never hear from, and I know they received it because typically until now, like I said, I always have a way to contact the person who nominated them. Just just confirming they got the package up, they got it, they said thank you, and that's it. I never heard from them. And whether that's I don't not think in any way, shape, or form that it's like being rude. I think, some people just don't want to be recognized, which I understand. And we get that a lot. Oh, no, you can't recognize them.
Right. So how can somebody nominate?
Message me. Just shoot me a message. If you want to nominate somebody, I'm going to make a post at some point. I actually have a screenshot thing that says nominate a veteran. I don't even know what it was from, but I saw it on Facebook and I screenshot it, and it's on my phone. But I haven't needed it yet.
Right.
You know what I mean? So as long as we keep having people nominated. But yeah, if you want to nominate somebody for either if they're active duty or if they served at some point ever in their life, my name is Jason. Team Spoonman is the Facebook group. It's a private group, so you click on there that you want to join. There's questions. If you want to answer the questions, go ahead. It makes it a little quicker and easier. If you don't want to answer the questions, I don't really care. We just check. We try to keep the robot accounts out. And the robot accounts always answer the questions.
Yeah.
And the answers never make any sense, which makes it easier to kick them out. So, but yeah, join the group. Actually, you don't even have to join the group. My name is Jason Kistler. Find me on Facebook, and Matt, I don't care if you're in the group or not. That doesn't matter to me.
Right.
It makes no difference. The person doesn't have to be. We've had tons and tons of them that are on Facebook, and it's not about that. It's not about. I'm not looking for a pat on the back. I'm not. I don't care about any of that. So, however it goes, it goes. So.
And the duck race is held at your.
The duck race is held at my house. It's Brittany. The first year, Brittany said we should have a party, and I'm like, okay. And I said, well, let's try to think of a way to make some money out of this. We were going to do a 50-50 drawing, and I said, but if we do a 50-50, we can only basically sell 50-50 tickets to who shows up that day.
Right.
So then I got the idea, there's a creek in my front yard, so I said, well, let's have a duck race. I said, if we have a duck race, I said we can sell ducks to anybody that can go anywhere across the country, and we'll do it like a 50-50. So we sell the duck for $10, and then we pay out $5, and that's how it goes. We got 180 sold so far. That's how it goes. Usually the first week you sell 250, the second week you sell 100, the third week you sell 150, and then I'm like, oh my God, we're way behind. It's going to be a horrible year. And then last year, as a matter of fact, at the end of the night, Friday, I think we had 1,040 ducks sold.
Wow.
We sold 35 ducks the day of the event that people showed up and bought them when they were there. But we had 1,040 ducks sold at the end of Friday night. 500 of those ducks were sold on Friday. Like everybody waits till the last minute, which is great, but it's a pain in the ass. So please buy your ducks early, because it's fine to track it, follow it. Okay, here it is. But now Friday night we have to draw all the ducks, because we don't random number generate anything. The ducks are in a garbage can, so you reach in there and pull the ducks out. I actually consider taking the bucket to an event. Right, if somebody wants to buy a duck, they can reach in and pull their own duck out.
There you go, yeah. That would work.
But I don't know. That's just more shipping. Shipping curves. More stuff I gotta drag along. Sorry. Sorry, Mom.
So I did some research about duck racing, and you surpass Disney World in their duck race that they hold every year.
I find it hard to believe, but all right.
In 2008, members of Disneyland Resort invented an event that became a long-anticipated yearly tradition where every employee at Disneyland buys ducks and they put them in the Small World ride. Are you familiar with this?
Yeah.
They put them in there and they race them every year, and they sell 1,000 ducks. That's it. So you surpassed Disney
Well,
World.
yeah, we can't stop at 1,000. I said I would never sell more than 1,000, because when the race is over, I gotta find them all, collect them, dry them, put them all in order to make sure I have them all. It's a process, but it's a couple of aggravating days, you know.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's so many of these things that it's just like, how like I don't want to do any more than that, and then it's like, all right. So it's 1 or 2 miserable days. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
I'm like, and it's just, it's Valor. You could call it the Valor Invitational. That's where most of the big chunk of money that we raise for the year. Now, like I said, if these events keep doing, we keep doing, you know, some more of these events all year long, that's a great boost for us.
Right.
It's huge. It's phenomenal.
All right, you're going to do the drink of the day tonight?
Oh, sure, we can do that.
You want to do that now or wait till the second half hour? That's up to you.
I don't really care what we do. Marathon runner, I'm not going to buy a drink.
Maybe not. Maybe they do.
I mean, we can give her an option, I guess.
Yeah, we can give her the
All
option.
right.
All right. We have some fun facts about it's National Hamburger Month. And you want to take a guess on how big the biggest hamburger was ever made back in 1982 in North Dakota? It fed 8,000 people.
Jesus!
So you want to take a guess on how much it
First
weighed?
of all, that's a meatloaf, not a hamburger.
That's not a hamburger. That's,
I mean, if you would even think of a quarter-pound burger, that's 2,000 pounds.
right. And this one weighed 3,591 pounds, and it was made by 3 guys in North Dakota in 1982.
That's a lot of cows.
That is a lot.
That's not one cow. That's multiple
multiple
cows. That's a lot of cows. Jesus.
And White Castle is the oldest burger selling retail chain in the world, and they opened in 1921, and each burger cost 5 cents back then.
Aren't White Castle burgers like this big?
Yeah, really. Yeah, they're not that big.
I thought White
Probably
Castle.
like 30 of them.
I thought White Castle was new.
And the first burger was invented in Wisconsin in 1885, but there's different debates because some say that they invented it and other people say they invented it. But these two gentlemen claim they invented the burger by putting a meatball in between two slices of bread and flattening it.
Like an early edition smash burger.
I guess so.
That sounds like a meatball sandwich to me, but.
And hamburgers started out by cut-offs from steak and roast, and it was known as the garbage meat. And it was eating hamburger used to mean that you couldn't afford to price your meat. So
I love hamburgers.
Yeah,
I was going to say.
So that is some facts about that. And coming up, we'll talk about the Boston Marathon, which Jason and I both say we're not marathon runners.
No. Trust me, if I'm running, it's someone's chasing me. You better run too. And you better hope that you can outrun me.
All right, we're going to go to a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to talk with our guests about the Boston Marathon. And stay tuned, because the sounder of the Colossal Backyard Barbecue giveaway is coming up. Remember to, when you hear the sounder, the email at info@colossalradio.rocks with your name and phone number. And if you are the first one to email tonight, you will be entered in the drawing that will be held on May 23rd. Again, a grill from Country Junction, a $200 gift card from Thompson Meat Market, a $200 gift card from Beltsville Beverage goes to one winner. And stay tuned for that. We'll go to a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Look,
Apparently, you can only get registered once.
think about it. Get yourself a nice warm bath. Using only
As I've been yelling.
dry. Only do your nails. And make sure you're feeling great from head to tail. It's got your clearest of offers. For 22 years, Stacy and Jennifer have been remembering best. So if you're looking for a local pet grooming service and an experienced staff, it's got your clippers. It's best grooming.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Good.
Country Clippers and Palmerston. Find them online.
Yeah, she looks like a bummer.
Give us some props. Do you want to snag a picture of where? Becky, can we get a picture real quick?
All right, welcome back to Colossal Spirited Podcast. Becky had to leave. She was quiet, Jason.
People have a tendency, though, around.
Yeah, I guess it intimidated her a little too much. But we have Jason here now, switching roles. He is now my guest co-host, and we are talking with Erica, who recently ran in the Boston Marathon. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself and how do you get trained for Boston Marathon?
Sure. So I ran cross country and track in high school, and one of my goals was to run in the Boston Marathon someday. Because it's a race you just can't sign up for, you actually have to either qualify by running a marathon before. If you hit a certain time qualification, you apply, and then they take the top so many to get in. Or if you raise enough money, it's a few $1,000s for charity, you can get in. And then they also give places for like local running teams and colleges in Boston and everything. So that was always my goal. And it took me several marathons to finally hit the time though that I needed. I would get close. The one time I was 29 seconds away from where the qualifying mark was. At that time I had to run a marathon, so 26.2 miles in 3 hours and 35 minutes. And I ran it in 3:35 and 29 seconds. But even if I would have hit that time, I would not have gotten in, just because so many people at the qualifying time, they only have a field of, I say only, 30,000 people, and so just because you hit the qualifying time, it doesn't mean you're going to get in. For example, this year they had around 30,000 runners. They had runners from every single state plus 128 countries.
Wow.
So it's competitive, but then finally I was able to surpass my time that I needed to get in by several minutes, and then I was accepted. So this is actually my 4th Boston Marathon. Once I just got in that rhythm of hitting the time, now I'm able to do it. So.
Wow.
My only question is why. My mom's a runner.
Yeah.
She's 73. She still runs. Not marathon.
That's my inspiration.
She ran, I think, the Philadelphia Marathon.
Okay, yes,
And,
I've done that one.
and she was, I don't even know, she was in her 30s. Maybe. I don't even know. I'm not sure how long ago it was.
Yeah.
But she wanted to do it in 4 hours.
Okay.
And her time was like 4 hours and 4 minutes. But she actually did it under 4 minutes. And she said it took her like 5-6 minutes to get to the starting line.
Right.
And I guess the time just starts when it starts.
Right. So they have mats. It's interesting. They have mats right at the start line. So you'll have, I mean, it's minutes and minutes and minutes, like you said, like 4 minutes before you actually get to the start line. And they actually have 4 different waves. So they'll have the elite and then the next group of runner, and your bibs, like, even tell you where, blue, so I had to wait until a certain time until I could get there. And I was in corral 2, so they tell you exactly, where you should be in that line. It was neat because last year I was in one of the faster groups, so I was able to be right on the line, and it was so neat because one of my students that day, I gave him the link where they could track me, running throughout the day. And he emailed me and he screenshotted the picture and said, "Mrs. Pagato, I think I see you." And sure enough, it was me on the front line, 30,000 people, and he found me, he saw me, which was, pretty neat. But then, so they have that mat where you start, and then all throughout the race, they have different mats. And on the back of the bibs, they have this chip here, just to make sure you actually ran the whole 26.2 miles, because there have been people, and the reason they started doing this is because they had people jump on the train or get a taxi, and then they jump out and just finish, and they didn't even do the whole entire thing. So
I don't get that. I mean, I get it, but
It's a running thing you would understand.
that's true.
yeah. But I think too, even the training, it's, I love getting out in nature. I love this is my stress relief. Every Saturday we have a group of friends that we meet up and run, so it's just like that time to joke around and hang out with friends for an hour or so. And so it's so much more than just the race itself, but the months of training and hanging out with friends beforehand.
So how many marathons have you run?
18.
Wow.
Okay. So do you have do you have a race day thing? Like that you go through checklist or foods or?
No, I would say so. I coach at Lee Heighton, the cross country and track and field head coach there. And I definitely have athletes who have to wear their lucky socks, or I had a runner who ate stuffed shells, like Kelsey Gaskins, stuffed shells every single night before the race. And even if we had 2 meets in a week, she had stuffed shells the night before. I really don't have anything that I need to do a routine. I will say something that is helpful is taking the black eye paint and writing my name on my arm. So Erica down the arm, I did that last year. And just to hear people say your name and cheer you on, when you're in the moments where you're thinking, why am I doing this? I chose to put myself in pain.
That's my second question. How do you manage the mental part of it?
Yeah, it can be tough.
Because
that's
trust me, the hardest thing that I do in my life is cold plunging.
Ooh.
That's the hardest thing I do.
Yeah.
And it's 3 minutes at a time. And I have to talk to myself while I'm doing it. But I can't imagine, at some point, it has to just be
painful.
Tired on the road, just the monotony of doing it.
Yeah. So I will say, when I mentioned, putting my name on my arm, just hearing that encouragement helps. I didn't do that this year, but for several miles, there was a woman right in front of me, and everyone's saying, "Go Erica, go Erica." This is nice. Hearing this woman, I said, "My name's Erica too," and so I ran with her for quite a while, and then I caught up to her again at the end. But it was just hearing that encouragement is definitely helpful. But I've been in smaller marathons. For example, I did the St. Petersburg Marathon in Florida in February. And I mean, there were spots, I was the only one around, and I was definitely thinking, I paid money to do this? Like, what am I doing? But then really, when you finish, you see that you hit your goal, you see that you qualified for the Boston Marathon again. My athletes tell me that they find it, inspiring that I'm pushing my body to the limit when I ask them to do the same thing. And it's just nice too to be able to relate to them. Like, I still get the pre-race jitters and nerves. And so when my athletes are super, nervous for a race, I'm like, I get it.
Right.
It never goes away. I'm a 40-year-old athlete. I still get the race jitters.
I feel, and I can't speak obviously for you, but I feel like my comparison is archery hunting. When I'm in the woods and a deer walks underneath me, I shake like I'm 12 years old.
Right.
And I think if that goes away, why do it?
Yeah.
Like
and I tell them too, it means it's important to them.
Yeah.
It means it's important to you.
All right, we have a question here from Kelly. What is the recovery like after your race?
So if I race, like I go full out, I'm trying to PR, and usually my marathons I run in the spring, and because I'm coaching track, I'll take 4 weeks off just to let my body recover, recruit. I'm super busy with coaching at that time, but there have been times where after 2 weeks, I start up again and everything.
Oh, wow.
But I'm not afraid to give my body, what it needs, just because it is so much strain, and you're tearing muscles. I mean, it's just a long time, a lot of wear. So between 2 and 4 weeks, I give myself just to completely recover and then start back up again.
Nice. I did some research on the Boston Marathon, and did you take part in this Sunday evening at the Boston City Plaza? Runners eat 11,000 pounds of pasta and unlimited beer.
well, one, I don't drink, and no, instead, what was super exciting is it was the 250-year anniversary of Paul Revere's Midnight Ride and the start of the Revolutionary War, so the Battle of Lexington and Concord. And so on Friday night, we followed Paul Revere around the city on his midnight ride, and then I got up with my dad 3:30 in the morning. We went to a reenactment to see the Battle of Lexington and Concord, 750 reenactors, and so my focus really this Boston, as a history teacher, was the reenactments.
Throw any tea in the ocean while you were there?
I did not. I tried getting into they have a museum where you actually do that at the end. It was booked, and we saw people coming out, and I asked them about it, and they said it is so worth it. So I have it in my to-do for next year. We're signing up for that museum.
You have to requalify every year?
Yes.
You don't get a pass because you clearly are qualified.
No, every year.
Listen, I have mad respect for, you don't have to call it this. I call people who run marathons for fun extreme athletes. First of all, I love people that have passion about anything, whatever it is. And I'm a huge, I don't know if you've ever heard of David Goggins.
Yes.
He's a lunatic.
Oh, yes. Oh, my athletes play, yes.
He ran one time 8 100-mile marathons, 8 weekends in a row.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Imagine.
Right.
Yeah.
You want to talk about recovery.
Yeah, I took 2 weeks to 4 weeks off.
That's
doing
right,
it all over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Right?
That guy's not right, though. He's definitely.
It's inspiring, though.
Oh, he is.
Push your body. And,
So what's a marathon that you haven't done that you want to do?
Chicago. I haven't done that one yet, and I'd like to do New York City as well. So my daughter pushes me. There's the Abbott World Marathons that you can do. And so it's Tokyo, Japan, they just added Australia, Berlin, London, Boston, Chicago, New York. And so she kind of pushes me like, Mom, you should try to get all of them in. Maybe someday. I mean, not right now, because I have some of my friends who run say, yeah, you're dropping 10 grand if you want to do the Tokyo Marathon by the time you get the flights, get in, all of that. It's like, I think I'd rather spend that money somewhere else.
Yeah. Do you run like more than one a year?
In the past few years, I was doing 2 in the spring, but that was pretty tiring on my body. So I think, I say this now, I think I might just do Boston in the spring. And then there is a a race that's local to my family, the Run for the Diamonds in Berwick that I ran. It's 9 miles on Thanksgiving morning. I have run that when I was in high school, and they actually give out diamond pendants. So for each decade, so the top woman in her 40s, the top woman in her 50s,
Well, you're gonna really have to pick it up a notch.
Yeah, I know. Well, I came in second, so the woman ahead of me, but she was way ahead of me, and she was a professional athlete from Philly. She got the necklace, and then I got a a glass fake diamond that said, "Curse to my age group." But someday, even if it means I'm 70, that is my next goal. I don't care if it takes me till I'm 70. That's what I'm aiming for.
Well, I'll be long gone by that time. So good luck with that.
So what do you think, Jason? Want to try to qualify for it?
No, I don't know.
I found a fact that in 1987, the rope that keeps the runners from starting early was accidentally left in place when the gun went off, and the whole front row tripped. All the elite athletes.
Wow.
I bet, yeah, they gotta get trampled.
Yeah, they got trampled. And now I don't know if they still do this, but they said they now form a human chain and they just stand before the gun actually goes off. So that's
Yes. And what I've been doing the last couple of years, my husband drops me off, I walk to the start line, and I watch the elite runners go. Just because where I stay, it's near the finish line. And the first year, I didn't realize I was so close to the finish line. I took the train into the city to get on the bus to go to the start line. And then I looked at the map the next year, I'm like, what was I doing? I didn't realize I was right there. So now he just drops me off, and it's neat to watch the elite runners go. I've read some of their books, and I like to watch them start and everything.
right.
That's really neat.
What's your, how do you train leading up to it?
Yeah.
Is it just running, or do you do?
Some lifting, but I will show you the book I use. People laugh at me because the coach's name is Jack Daniels, and I'm like, oh yeah, I follow the Jack Daniels plan too,
Now you're speaking my language.
But this is, I really like his training plan. It's a 26-week program, and so I follow, what he says, and it ranges. Like I average like 45 miles a week. And so he has a plan that says, okay, if you're going to run between 41 and 50 miles a week, this is what you should do. If you're going, and it goes all the way up. Even people who run 120 miles a week, he's trained Olympians that their mileage is just crazy. So I follow.
That sounds like campaigns.
Yeah.
He used to run a marathon a day. He would wake up in the morning, he'd run 13 miles, and then he'd go to work, he'd run like 6 miles at lunch, and then when he went home at night, he'd run the rest of it until he hit 26 miles. Every day he did that.
Well, I can show you something else that helps too.
I'm getting tired.
No, these are nice. So these shoes have actually a carbon fiber plate. So it's the new technology that is out there. They put you a lot on the balls of your feet, but this plate actually springs you forward. And it's super light.
Sounds cheating to me.
Yeah, I know.
Are those training shoes or those are you wear?
These are my racing shoes. When I do my hard workouts, though, I will wear these too. But what a difference. Some people love them, some people hate them. My husband got them, and he's more like running flat foot, and it really puts you on the balls of your feet. But if you're out there and you're looking to PR in a marathon, I highly recommend the
Spring-loaded shoes.
Yeah, the spring-loaded shoes. You got it.
All right, we have another question here. What is the fastest you have ever finished a marathon?
3 hours and 23 minutes. So it comes out to be about per mile 7 minutes and 46 seconds.
I couldn't run that pace for 100 yards. I don't think I could.
I don't think I could either.
Maybe I
Yeah, you could do that.
I don't know. I'm pretty old and broken.
All right, we're going to go to a commercial break. When we come back, we're going to learn more about the marathon. Maybe Jason will change his mind and get in shape. But first, we are going to play the sounder for the barbecue giveaway. Remember, email info@colossalradio.rocks, your name and phone number, And when you hear the sounder of two guys trying to light the grill, email. And if you're the first one, you will be entered in the drawing. So get ready. Write this down, info@colossalradio.rocks, and get ready to email now.
Hey man, killer setup on the barbecue. Everything looks great.
Every time you would say,
Yeah, it's coming together. I'm about ready to fire this thing up.
it'll be ready. All I gotta do is hit the same button. And every time I hit it, I would never
How
read
much?
it. And then one day,
Gas on that thing?
I don't know where, I was coming over the mountain, I got like the ski area, and I'm coming up the hill, and I hear the sounder go. And I didn't even know, I had no idea. I hear the sounder go, and I'm scrolling through the app and trying to get to the thing. You know what? That's the time I got
I guess I should have said that. But hey, burgers are done. Bill, you okay? Dude, your eyebrows are gone.
Sip a handcrafted cocktail.
How long you been teaching?
Delight your palate with farm-to-table focused fare.
I was
Make lasting memories with the ones you love. The Gorge Eatery is a place where friends and loved ones come together to enjoy scratch cooking in a unique Zen space. Located in the historic Hofford Mill in Weisport, you'll find something very unique to the area. Our newly redesigned event space is ideal for your next special occasion. Perfect for bridal and baby showers, micro weddings, parties, and more. Log on to thehoffman.com for more information and upcoming events.
Or not my cousin's kids.
All right, welcome back to Colossal Beauty Podcast, and just a reminder for the Gorge Eatery, if you are looking for seafood for your Memorial Day picnic, the deadline to order is May 18th, and pickup is May 22nd between 3 p.m. and 6 p.m. You can go into the Hofford Mills website, click on the tab of events, and you can see the full list of menus of the seafood, and place your order by May 18th, and pickup is May 22nd, so check that out. And also check the Hofford Mills events page. They have lots of events coming up. Check that out. And we would like to thank the Gorge Eatery and Hofford Mill for allowing us to use the event room for the podcasts every month. And we're back here learning about the Boston Marathon. So what is it like running in Boston?
It's incredible. I mean, it's like no other marathon. You have just thousands and thousands of people lining the streets, and oftentimes it's not even just one row of people, but when you get to that last 2-3 miles, I mean, it's several people thick, just screaming and cheering. This year I actually turned on my phone and I video recorded just to try to give people an idea of what it is like, how loud and just encouraging everyone is. So even if you're not going to run it, if you want to go and just cheer on, it's incredible. Like the signs are hilarious that people have, that are holding up. Just cheering on. You have the Scream Tunnel, so it's Wesley College, it's an all-girls school, and they line up, and it's called the Scream Tunnel for a reason. They are just cheering and yelling non-stop. So it's just to have that crowd support. This year I decided I'm gonna run it easy because my marathon that I did in February, I qualified for next year. And if I do decide to only do one marathon a year, I'm going to have to requalify at Boston every year if I want to continue, running Boston every year. And so I thought, I'm already in for next year. My goal this marathon is to slap as many little kids' hands as I can, just have fun, read all the signs, and take it all in. And it was so neat because as I, mission accomplished, I slapped a ton of small kids' hands, and they act like, you're just so special, or something I know, exactly, like a movie star or something. And the parents wow, she slapped your hand, they're just so excited. This made me so happy to be able, to do that.
I just started laughing because I'm thinking to myself, my only comparison is this: when I was in the Army, we had to do our PT test every month. It was 2 miles, and I didn't run. I was never a runner. But if you scored 270 points in your PT test, you didn't have to take PT with the company. You could do it on your own. And you kept yourself in good enough shape.
Yeah.
So I did push-ups and sit-ups every day. So I could do 100% of the push-ups and 100% of the sit-ups. So on the run, I had to get I don't remember what the time was, 11:54 or 12:54. I don't remember what. might have been 13:54, like 7-minute miles,
Okay.
for 2 miles.
Yeah.
And I just remember crossing the finish line ready to throw up because it took all I had to hit the 70% mark. And now I'm thinking of her coming down her last stretch with her camera.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, she carried her camera the time she was running.
Oh, the selfie stick going on.
Oh, you should see the outfits some people wear, that like costumes and just, oh yeah. But I mean, you have 30,000 people, you're gonna have many different characters, people there celebrating, it's a great time. And even like the party beforehand, I mean, they give out, I don't know, like Boston Marathon ducks, and they have games you can play, and just like all different things that say the Boston Marathon on them, and you know, I want to like all this is free, just different. You play these games, and they just it's neat. I mean, you pay to register. I mean, it's not cheap. It's $200 to sign up and do it. But then, I mean, you have the fun activities. You know, you get the medal at the end as well.
Everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody gets
Oh, I know. But they qualified and they ran it, so.
They do pay $200.
So you have to finish. You don't get it until you end. So they don't put it in your, you know, in your bib.
So you're saying that bib, they actually know if you finish. So is that actually like tracking you?
Yes. And my family and my friends, I've had students. We didn't have school this month, this time because it's always on a Monday. But with the Easter holiday, we didn't have school. But I'll have, you know, people tell me when I come back home, like, oh, I was tracking you, we saw where, you know, you were. But my family does it as well because the course parallels the train. And so both my parents and my husband and my kids jump on and off the train. They see me at a spot, get on the train, go see. But using that, they can track me and people at home as well. They can see exactly where I'm at the course. It tells you your expected finish time. So it's pretty neat, you know, because I've had, like I said, family members, friends at work who track me.
How much elevation is it in Boston?
So nothing likely high end. I mean, people say that, you know, there's Heartbreak Hill, and there are hills in different sections. But we run hills all the time here.
Right.
You know, we live in the Poconos, so we're always going to that hill. So mile 18, you know, 20, 21, 22 in there, it's tough because, I mean, a lot of people say marathon running, the race doesn't start until mile 20. I mean, that is when your body just starts like shutting down and you really need to push through. And so to have hills around that, you know, 20-mile mark and everything, it makes it difficult. But once you get up Heartbreak Hill, it's a nice, steady downhill most of the way. So it just kind of like helps carry you to the finish.
What percentage of runners finish? Do most of them finish, or is it?
That's a great question. So it said, I read that 32,000 were running it, but then when I looked out of the women, I think 28,000. I think 28,000 did finish.
So there is a fairly substantial
Right.
people that don't finish then.
Yeah. Well, my parents said it was only like mile 6, and some guy got on the train. He gave up. I said, it's only mile 6. Yeah, he's done.
Yeah, well, that guy made it at least twice as far. Might
Yeah.
have been on the train with your parents.
Yeah.
Waving at you.
That's great. So what would you recommend people if they want to start training, even to run? How would you recommend them to start out?
It's the same thing I do with my athletes who, you know, start cross country or start track and want to do the distance events is start out easy, because too much too soon you can get injured, you can get shin splints, and so we'll start off, you know, we'll work out for 30 minutes, but we'll do a walk and a jog. You know, let's jog for a few minutes, let's take a break. You know, jog, walk, and the goal is to be able to jog consistently for 30 minutes. And, you know, we're going to be starting in just a few weeks cross-country practice, and that's exactly what I'll do with my athletes. And just be kind to yourself. I mean, your body is going to tell you, what are you doing? You need to stop. And really, the first 3 weeks are the hardest because your body is going to tell you should not be doing this. But then once you break through, it's actually just life-giving, and you know, it's just empowering to know that you can get up and go. And we're so blessed around here. We have so many different trails that we can explore, just be in nature, you know, away from everything, I highly recommend it.
That's why I tell you to quit my walk to the nail.
And back. Has any of your students, is it their goal to run in the back?
Yeah, actually this year I had my first athlete. She's now in her mid-20s, Sarah Gaston. I coached her and she qualified for Boston. So the day before, we got pictures taken and everything. She blew my time away. I mean, she had her best race ever. But it was just really neat to know that, you know, I trained her as a middle schooler, and now here she is, you know, a young woman in her early mid-20s, and she qualified. That was a dream of hers, and we were able to run in that together.
I have another question here. What is the cutoff time until, like, you know, your last race?
Oh, what is it? They had signs telling you, it may have been 6 or 7 hours. Like it was, they give you a decent amount of time.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you get in, or if you, if you raise money,
Well, yeah, I guess if you can buy your way in.
Right.
If I bought my way in, I could buy your way in. I can't. I don't even want to. I'm trying to think how long it would take me to even walk that far.
Yeah.
and that's the thing too. I mean, no matter what, everyone's in pain. Either it's the elite runners who are done, you know, in like the women in 2.5 hours. 3.5 hours, or people who are out in the course for 5 hours. I mean, that's a long time to be moving on your body. So no matter what, it's a lot for everyone.
4 miles an hour that's a pretty decent walking pace.
Yeah.
So to do that for 6 hours,
Yeah.
I don't see that.
I will say what helps me, because I ran the Philadelphia Marathon just for fun, and I got bored of it, to be honest with you. But when I'm keeping my eye on my watch, I'm trying to hit a time goal, and each mile, like I have a plan of, I know exactly what I want to run each mile in. I start out a little bit slower and then progressively get faster. That keeps me going, keeps me motivated. So yeah, 3.5 hours is a long time to do anything, but when you have your focus on, you know, a certain time goal, it's helpful.
Nice. All right, Jason, you got the drink of the day. Anyway, with this.
We were waiting for you, but
Yeah.
I told you she wasn't going to drink.
Oh, you never know. I mean, I saw that fact there, you know, beer and pasta. I mean,
This is not beer or pasta.
we could pay $200 just to.
Where's your wife?
I don't know, she's out there somewhere.
I had to find a drink that didn't have pineapple juice in it. She's allergic.
If you're not familiar with Jason's group, he does a drink of the day every
Okay.
day live on Facebook.
It started out me doing a drink of the day.
I will taste the tea, just to taste it.
There you go.
Thank you.
It started out doing a drink of the day, and then it turned into a non-profit group where we raise money for military people.
Okay,
But I still do the drink of the day.
got it.
So Keith is so kind to let me bring my debauchery onto this podcast. All right, so this is called the Velvet Restraint. It's vodka, amaretto, Southern Comfort, orange juice, and grenadine. Cheers.
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 That tastes like cherry moonshine.
I was going to say it has like a cherry taste to it. Like almost like a cherry Jolly Rancher.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, it is. There's a after kick there.
Yeah. It's not bad. For the record, I don't try it.
Okay.
So I considered making the drunken duck but we made that drink already. So if it's a drink that we made already, it can't count for the drink of the day.
Right.
And then I would have had to go home and do the drink of the day after this. So I figured I'll just make it. Not bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad.
All right, thank you for coming on. It was very interesting to hear about the Boston Marathon. I didn't realize there was all that into it.
Listen, I'm telling you, I'm madly impressed with extreme athletes, and I consider a marathon runner who runs marathons on purpose regularly as an extreme athlete.
Well, thank you.
My hat's off.
Thank you
Yes.
very much.
And she's a teacher, which is also very noble.
Well, thank you. I love what I do.
So other facts that I found about the Boston Marathon, it is the oldest marathon in the world, and it started April 19th in 1897.
Whoa. How can it be older than marathon? Isn't marathon the Greece marathon? Wasn't that the marathon? I call shenanigans.
Got according to the Boston University.
Having a foot race for everyone, yeah?
It was 24.5 miles, and in 1924 they added extra miles to make it 26 miles. And there's 500,000 spectators that line up to watch each year. And women were not allowed to run in the marathon until 1972. And more than 1,100 media outlets cover the event every year. And runners have to be 18 years of age to run. And in 2012, there was a gentleman that ran it in 5 hours and 38 minutes, and he was at the age of 81.
That's what she's going.
That's
what she's
impressive.
doing.
Something planned.
Yeah, we'll see her in the paper. All right, thank you again for coming on. That's going to do it for us tonight. Our next live show is going to be June 9th, and we are going to be celebrating National Beef Jerky Day, where we'll be sampling different types of beef jerky. More information on that. Jason,
That's my wheelhouse.
Yeah, there you go.
And the Spoon Blues a wrap-up show.
There you go. You can do that. So stay tuned for that on June 9th. And in June 23rd, we have another show coming up. And we are going to be back August 5th at the Palmerton National Night Out event. We'll be playing all your favorite music. We'll be back for the 3rd year of doing that. And the doc will be at the Lehighton National Night Out that night. So stay tuned for that. We've got lots of things coming up for the summer and in the fall, so stay tuned. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We do weekly videos on there. And then make sure you download the Colossal Radio app. It is free. Monday through Friday, Doc's Endless Party Show is 9 a.m. till noon. And then our favorite Uncle Kevin is on from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. And then every Tuesday night, Oldies with Ike, Tuesday night, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this week, he is spotlighting Stevie Wonder and the Animals. So that's tomorrow night. And then if you're into your heavy metal, Friday night at 7 p.m., Retro Rock Rewind. Saturdays at noon, Totally Awesome 80s. And that Saturdays at 10 p.m., That Thing with Rich. And again, you can download the free app to listen or enable your skill settings on Alexa. And you can listen on to the website colossalradio.rocks. And that is going to do it for us for tonight. And we'll see you all next up.